What's up, everybody? Welcome to Worm Wednesday. This week we're checking in on the African nightcrawler bag that's inside my house. It's been a couple weeks since I showed this on video, I think. But let's see how they're doing. There's one of the guys right there. So they ate all the food it looks like I gave them last week. There's a banana stem here that will probably be in here for a millennium or two. Fine. Boy, these castings are nice and flaky. Everything looks worked over. It's a little dry up on top. I'm going to add a lot of wet bedding today because this bag has been drying out a little on me. I haven't been doing super huge feedings on it yet. That will probably start in the next week or two. This bag hadn't been going very long, but as you can see, everything is getting good and worked over. So yeah, just little night crawlers here, little Africans. So this week for food, we got frozen lettuce that somebody gave me, banana peel. That's about it. Frozen lettuce and banana peel. This is a pretty light feeding. I have a feeling that I'm going to be feeding these guys before next Wednesday or next Tuesday when I normally feed. Let me grab some wet bedding and I will throw it on there. Now when I say wet bedding, I mean wet bedding. You can wring this stuff out. I'm going to end up putting a bucket underneath it because I know it's probably going to leak some water. Like I said earlier, this system has been drying out a little bit on me. So I'm going to really try to get it good and moist all the way through and just try to nip that issue right in the bud. So I'm going to put 2 more buckets of wet bedding on here. This wet bedding has garden lime mixed in with it already. So I don't have to worry about grit because it's in there. Yeah, let me get that done and I will come back and wrap this up. All right, guys. So as you guys just saw, I just put a lot of super wet bedding into a Vermibag Mini. Vermibag Minis, Vermibags in general, have really good airflow. And until the system gets kind of full, they kind of have a tendency to dry out a little bit. That bag I noticed was drying out around the edges, so I decided I was going to really load it up with wet bedding to try to saturate it all the way through. Is there a chance I'm going to get moisture leaking out the bottom? Yes, there is, because it's a flow-through system. So what I did was I put the lid off of a tote upside down underneath it to catch whatever drips out. Maybe nothing will drip out. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised, and that will mean it is even drier than I thought. The worms are doing fine in there, and they'll probably like it even better with being a little bit more moist. It was a pretty light feeding. My bedding is a lot of food. If you saw, it's a lot of paper, a lot of cardboard, a lot of coffee, some peat moss from a vermiculture project I have going on. That I sift out the big pieces of peat and I just use it for bedding for my Vermibags. Yeah, so that's why I did that, guys. I will keep you updated if anything drips through. If not, it was a success. If it does and the worms survive, it was a success. It's really a win-win situation because the system needs moisture, the worms need moisture, and so while I didn't put a lot of food scraps in there, it was just a bag of lettuce, banana peel, and like a quarter of a banana. All of that bedding is food as well. So when you look at what I put, 246 quarts of bedding in there. So really it was a pretty good feeding for that system. And we'll keep an eye on it. I'll feed it up again Tuesday. The Vermibag Max that I put the cantaloupe and asparagus in, I checked it yesterday. They were still going through the asparagus and the cantaloupe. So I'm not feeding it today. I may throw a little bit of bedding in there just to add some moisture and give them something in case they finish that pretty big feeding I gave. The red worms that are in the original Vermibag, fed them up with, I think it was 2 orange peels, a bag of peas from when I had that surgery done. Still have 1 bag of peas left, so it's in there now. And green beans, random other food scraps I had in the house. Hey, those little red wigglers, they can eat, let me tell you. What I'm noticing about the Africans is that they eat too, but they're eating a lot more of your browns, your carbons, your leaves, cardboard, paper, than they are. I mean, they eat the food, whatever, but they really rip through that cardboard. I've got some trays set up with red wigglers in leaves and African night crawlers in leaves. And the difference in the amount of leaves that these 2 species of worms are consuming is amazing. The Africans are blowing through it way faster than the reds are. But that's the Worm Wednesday update this week, guys. Look forward to seeing you guys next week. Upload more worm videos so I can watch them. Bye.